Krakow shines when you're in the right place at the right time. This plan lines up on peaceful mornings, standout viewpoints, and a few can't-miss experiences you'd never find by accident. From a fire-breathing dragon to salt-carved chambers deep underground, your 3 days here will be anything but ordinary. Here's your itinerary done the smart way. Day 1. Grandeur and Royal Legends. Your first day starts early in the center of Old Town, right in Main Market Square, or Rynek Główny. Your accommodation options are Hotel Stary for elegant decor, or Greg and Tom Beerhouse Hostel for instant friends and free breakfast. Either way, you're in the optimal spot. Before 9 a.m., Main Market Square feels almost otherworldly, hushed, glowing, and patrolled by pigeons who act like they own the deed to the place until the tour groups show up. The square is also among Europe's biggest and most beautiful plazas, being framed by Gothic towers, Renaissance arcades, and pastel townhouses that have watched life unfold here for centuries. One landmark pulls your attention immediately: the soaring towers of St. Mary's Basilica. If you time your morning right, pause for a moment at the top of the hour to hear the Hey Now trumpet call drifting over the square, before stopping abruptly. But why does the trumpet stop mid-note? The dramatic cutoff is intentional as a tribute to a trumpeter whose final performance ended with a Mongol arrow. Inside, the Feitstoss altarpiece opens at 11:50 a.m. on weekdays, revealing intricate carved figures that look almost alive. Across the square, the long stone arcades of Krakow's Cloth Hall, or Sukiennice, have been bustling for generations. Today, amber jewelry, hand-carved toys, and classic Polish souvenirs line the stalls. It's a rare spot where you can pick up gifts without later questioning your choices. Head upstairs to the Gallery of 19th Century Polish Art, where sweeping romantic paintings fill a beautifully restored hall. By now, you've earned something delicious, and Krakow provides. Walk to Przystanek Pierogarnia on Jewska Street. Tiny, simple, and a real gem. Whether you choose potato and cheese pierogi, wild mushroom, or just say yes to everything, it's all comfort on a plate. And if you're tempted to order a second plate, there's no judgment here. When you're ready, a remarkable surprise awaits right beneath your feet: Rynek Underground Museum. Descending into this museum feels like stepping into old Krakow, as excavations reveal foundations, workshops, and market stalls frozen in time. Glass walkways lead you over routes that haven't seen daylight in hundreds of years, while interactive exhibits make everyday life from long ago feel vivid and close. Insider tip: free Tuesday tickets can't be reserved online and disappear quickly. Arrive early for these or pre-book a paid slot. If you're loving this mix of history and creative atmosphere, just wait until day 3, when you wander the mural-filled lanes of Kazimierz, a neighborhood bursting with color and energy. But before we get there, the city's royal story takes center stage. Emerging into daylight again, the city naturally pulls you toward the river. As the path curves upward, the silhouette of Wawel Hill rises ahead, once the seat of Poland's kings. The Wawel Royal Castle welcomes you with grand courtyards, airy arcades, and rooms that once shaped the country's destiny. Timed entry tickets are required for the royal apartments and crown treasury, and booking ahead is the smartest move. Beyond the courtyard, Wawel Cathedral stands with the confidence of a landmark woven into nearly every chapter of the nation's story. Inside, soaring arches butt against 16th century chapels and Baroque ornamentation in a harmonious architectural family reunion. These styles shouldn't work together, yet somehow they do. Look for the Golden Sigismund Chapel, a leading example of Renaissance architecture north of the Alps. Climb to the Sigismund Bell, a 12-ton giant said to bring good luck when you touch it. The climb also makes you appreciate how seriously old-world bell ringers must have taken leg day. The royal crypts below offer a moving counterpoint to the cathedral's grandeur. As you descend to the riverbank, Krakow shifts from solemn to playful thanks to its most theatrical residence, the Wawel Dragon. This bronze creature sits beside the entrance to its cave and occasionally erupts with a burst of real fire. It always seems to flame up the moment someone puts their phone away. It knows. The timing is unpredictable, which is why everyone casually loiters nearby, pretending not to wait for it. The legend behind it? a clever cobbler, a sheep stuffed with sulfur, and one very unfortunate dragon completes the moment. When the sun begins to soften, follow the streets into Kazimierz, the former Jewish quarter and a richly atmospheric neighborhood. Lantern-lit alleys, vintage shops, tranquil courtyards, and inviting cafes make it a place where winding down feels effortless. It's also somewhere you plan a quick stroll and suddenly an hour disappears, happily. Dinner tonight is at Shabragesh v. Kuni. Refined, warm, and known for its roasted goose. Pair it with a glass of wine and soak in the area's artistic rhythm. If you're enjoying this guide so far, there's a new city guide every Tuesday. Hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's destination. QR code's right here if you're watching from your TV. And that wraps up day 1, which showed you Krakow's charm. Tomorrow shows you why this city matters, and it won't be easy, but it's essential. Day 2, bearing witness and underground wonders. Pack emotional energy today. You'll need it. You're visiting Auschwitz-Birkenau and the Wieliczka salt mines, 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites that represent opposite extremes of human history. Experiencing them on the same day is intense, but it allows you to end the journey with a sense of awe rather than sorrow. Most organized tours depart from central Krakow between 7:30 and 8 a.m. The drive west to Auschwitz takes about 90 minutes, passing through countryside that feels worlds away from what you're about to witness. Walking through the gates beneath the Arbeit macht frei sign, the weight of the place settles immediately. Rows of brick barracks line silent pathways. The exhibitions inside document the stories of individuals, mothers, scholars, children, families whose lives were torn apart here. Your guide will take you through several blocks, each one presenting personal artifacts, photographs, and preserved rooms that offer deeper insight into this dark piece of history. The visit continues at Birkenau, the larger part of the complex. The railway tracks stretching toward the horizon offer a profoundly sobering sight you'll carry with you long after leaving Poland. Insider tip: book directly through the official website, visit.auschwitz.org, at least 2 months in advance. Guided tours cost $130 PLN, around $32.50, and free self-guided entry is available but must be reserved at least a week ahead. After the tour, you'll have a brief break, enough time to decompress, get some fresh air, and prepare for the shift in tone as you travel to Wieliczka. The Wieliczka salt mines sit about an hour from Auschwitz, and when you arrive, the contrast is striking. Here, instead of heavy silence, you descend into a world shaped by craftsmanship, devotion, and imagination. More than 700 years of continuous mining carved out this subterranean landscape filled with chambers, sculptures, and underground lakes. Relief carvings depict biblical scenes, minor stories, and legends tied to the region. It's atmospheric, peaceful, and unlike anything above ground. The highlight is the Chapel of St. Kinga, a vast underground cathedral sculpted entirely from salt, where chandeliers, altarpieces, and intricate carvings crafted by miners over generations create a space of almost indescribable wonder. Fair warning, the tour includes around 800 stairs, mostly on the way down, so wear comfortable shoes and bring a light jacket as temperatures stay cool year-round. By early evening, you'll return to Krakow, tired in both body and spirit. Tonight calls for comfort food, and Krakow knows exactly how to deliver it. Head to Milk Bar Tomasza, a modern take on the classic Polish milk bar, where hearty dishes are the kind your grandmother would insist you finish. Try the pierogi ruski, or a bowl of zurek with sausage. End the night quietly, maybe with a short walk through Old Town or a simple tea back at your hotel. Let the day sit with you. Tomorrow's journey is lighter, filled with art, heritage, and a district reinvented by creativity and resilience. Day 3. Jewish Heritage and Creative Revival. Your final day in Krakow invites you to explore 2 neighborhoods whose stories reveal the city's heart. Today swings between heritage and creative energy that pulls you in, all at a relaxed pace that feels like a gentle exhale after yesterday. This morning, you're returning to Kazimierz from day 1, but this time you're going deeper into its story. Before the Second World War, this area thrived among Europe's most dynamic Jewish communities. 7 synagogues remain, each offering a glimpse into centuries of life, learning, and tradition. Your first stop is the old synagogue on Szeroka Street, a remarkably well-preserved example of early Jewish religious architecture in Poland. Inside, ritual objects and preserved artifacts help you picture the rhythm of life in the district generations ago. A few streets away, the Remuh synagogue brings the story forward. Its prayer hall still hosts services, and the adjoining cemetery, with its leaning, time-worn tombstones, feels like a small, peaceful world of its own. You instinctively lower your voice, even when there's no one else around. Here rests Rabbi Moses Isserlis, a scholar whose influence reached far beyond Kraków. Kazimierz opens up the moment you begin wandering. Murals splash color across side streets, cafes spill onto sidewalks, and the district's layered history and street art compete for wall space. Keep an eye out for the Judah mural, a lion's mane unfurling around a child's face, and the Kazimierz historical mural, where King Kazimierz appears beside Helena Rubinstein. Here, a simple promise of just browsing can quickly turn into clutching a vintage postcard you hadn't intended to buy. When you feel like taking a breather, Cheder Café offers a remarkably relaxed corner in the district. Israeli-style coffee, shelves of books, and sunlight pooling through the windows make it a cozy retreat to linger for a while. And yes, the shashuka always arrives looking like a dish you'll swear you'll recreate at home, but probably won't. A short walk leads you to Bernatek Footbridge, whose span is lined with metal acrobats balanced overhead as if frozen mid-performance. Within minutes, someone's attempting to arrange their arms and legs to match a sculpture for a photo. The success rate is, well, variable, but always entertaining. Crossing the river guides you gently into Podgórze, where the tone shifts to something more reflective. Ghetto Heroes Square opens before you, marked by 70 oversized metal chairs, a simple, powerful memorial to the Jewish residents forced into the Podgórze ghetto during Nazi occupation. The empty chairs say everything. Beyond the square, Schindler's factory deepens the story. Once an enamel-ware plant, it now houses one of Krakow's most immersive museums. Exhibits recreate apartments, street scenes, propaganda rooms, and everyday spaces with startling realism. You may forget you're walking through a factory until you look up at the ceiling. Plan for at least 90 minutes. Insider tip: free Monday tickets sell out quickly and must be collected in person if you're not able to snag the few available timed tickets in advance. A timed online reservation is your best bet during busy seasons. By late afternoon, something comforting is in order. And Kazimierz knows just the thing. The round rotunda in Plac Nowy hosts Krakow's beloved Zapiekanka stalls, and the popular Café Injor is often the place to start. Here, toasted baguettes are piled high with mushrooms, melted cheese, and your choice of extras. They're hearty, messy, and utterly satisfying. Don't forget a napkin. The afternoon drifts easily from here. Kazimierz's vintage shops, indie boutiques, and artisan cafes make it among the city's best districts for unhurried roaming. If you need a pick-me-up, Karma Coffee Roastery pours some of Krakow's best brews. When the light begins to soften, the district shifts again. Candlelit interiors flicker to life, music drifts from basements, and the evening slows to a wonderfully leisurely pace. Alchemia is an ideal starting point, a bar filled with antique furniture, warm glow, and a welcoming vibe that keeps you lingering long past that just one drink. Dinner tonight is at KRAKOW, an inventive Polish restaurant known for surprising dishes, including a donut stuffed with breaded pork shank. Dramatic, yes. Delicious? Also yes. Their potato sour cocktail has become local favorite. If you want to linger a little longer in Kazimierz, wander to Singer, where antique sewing machines double as tables and set the tone. Esheveria, with its soft lights and mismatched chairs, creates an especially cozy finale to your trip. Across 3 days, you've seen the city through its royal halls, its underground wonders, its most challenging chapters, and its most creative corners. Wherever you go next, Krakow has already left its mark. Which moment from these 3 days would be your first stop? The royal heights of Wawel, the streets of Kazimierz, or the depths of Wieliczka? Drop your favorite stop or any extra local tips in the comments so other travelers can steal your best ideas. If you're ready for your next destination, the Europe Itineraries playlist is waiting for you, packed with step-by-step guides just like this. The link is waiting in the description. As Anthony Bourdain once said, travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable, but that's okay. The journey changes you. It should change you. Thanks for joining us and exploring today. See you in the next one.